Hey guys, Jen Jones, Live Laugh Paint Parties. I am just coming to you live because I want to, because why not? It's been like a super rainy day today, like pouring down rain, and so it was a good day to like just kind of sit down and work on a painting today. As you guys can see, I kind of did like a mock drawing here, like a little pencil drawing of, I did that yesterday of what I want to paint on here. And so, and you'll notice I'm recording. I'm a recording within a recording right now. I record all my paintings that I create so that I can teach them to my other party artists. Yay. Um, so that they know how to do our paintings. Anyways, so I'm gonna be working on this seashell right here. And I just figured you guys might want to watch. I don't know. If you have questions, let me know. I'm basically, I think this might be the first time I've painted a seashell, even. I don't know. We'll just see. We're going to go for it. All right. I'm getting here. I'm going to start with my lightest colors. And we're going to see how it goes. And I want to make this really big, a really big seashell. So we're going to start with white first. There we go. And I'm going to put it over here. And basically, I'm just going to create a little bit of a, I'm kind of probably going to start it a little weird. I tend to like, I don't know, create kind of like weird shapes first and then like grow the shapes and change them. And like I just kind of get like a general idea of how, like what I want my seashell to look like when I'm first starting. It's just a guide. What I'm doing here. Okay. It's just, I like this. I like doing stuff like this because it kind of creates the little ridges in here. It kind of gives me a guide as to what I need to do. And of course, I'm going to add like a bunch of colors to this too. I do the little, I don't know, I might make this bigger too. I do the little shell thingy here. I don't know what that's called. I don't know, that's pretty good. If I wanted to make it bigger though, all I would have to do is just extend my strokes like that. And basically just kind of go right over top of what I already did. And I'm just kind of using the brush to form the shape that I want, because this is like a filbert. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's a filbert 4. It's a flat brush. It's got a little rounded tip to it. It's pretty cool. It's one of my favorite brushes to use. All right, so I see I extended it. I fixed it. That's actually one thing I love about painting is if you don't like it, just paint over it. And it'll kind of come together. Now I might need a smaller brush to do some detail on this right here, but that's okay for now. Come out like that. Okay, so now I'm gonna go to, again, this is just kind of like my first little round here of, you know, putting down kind of like an underpaint a little bit. And I'm starting with my lightest colors and going up to darker ones. And what I designed over here is basically I wanted to do I saw purple seashells on Google Images and I was like, oh, those look so cool. With like purples and like a magenta color, and it had some of this blue color in there and all that kind of stuff. So I was like, oh yeah, that's what I'm doing. So I'm going to do that next. I'm going to do some red, white, and blue together. I have purple, but I'm using red, white, and blue because it gives a different, these red, whites, and blues give a different shade to the purple. It makes a better magenta. Let's just put it that way. All right, so I'm going to grab some red and white and blue. That's too much blue. See, like this is my dark purple right here. It's super dark. See? It's more like a, I guess it's on a cooler side, and these are on warmer sides or something like that. I don't know. I don't know all the techie stuff. I just know like what colors I like, and I just play around until I get the colors. And honestly, it's really all you can do. I mean, that's like kind of the key to painting, is just kind of goofing off, I guess. And practicing. Just keep painting, painting, painting. As I think I saw somebody comment. Oh, hi guys. Hi Sandy. Hi Karen. Dara. Hi Lakshmi. Hi. What's going on, peeps? Okay. All right. So now I've got this nice magenta color going on. It's gonna look really cool. I might have to jump down to a smaller brush, but we'll see. We'll see if I can play enough with it here. And I'm going to keep my darker colors down here and out towards the tips, but I want this to be kind of like a rainbow of colors. You could even do layers, you know. Where am I putting this? Let's do it. You know what? Let's do it here. Oh, that's too dark. Ah, hold on. Okay, I gotta rinse my brush a little. And I'm gonna lighten it up and add some more red to it. So I'm rinsing my brush. Put a little more water on my brush so I can kind of water this color down a little bit. And I'm gonna add more red because I want it to be a little more pink, a little more white. I had too much blue in it. And that's okay. Okay, let's try that again. Now the cool thing is my white paint is still wet, so I can definitely see, I can just kind of pick it back up off the canvas and let it go. And if that one is dark or too dark, it's okay. That's not a big deal. See? It'll blend in nicely. All right. Well, that's looking really pretty. I like that. I also like to mix my colors as I go because it gives you different shades, and it's kind of like happy little accidents that make it different shades, which makes it more textures, more shadows, more lights, just naturally without you having to force it. And I think that's pretty cool. So, and I am just very lightly dusting this color on. I'm not putting on a ton. I don't have a lot on my brush. The white paint is still wet, sorta, kinda. Wet my brush. Okay. Hello, Arna. Hi. Long time no see. And hello, Mary. Let's see. Okay, so it's kind of hard to check comments and paint at the same time, so forgive me if I don't see all your comments. And notice I've curved this a little bit towards the middle here, so that it kind of helps define the shape. It gives a little more 3D depth to it, you know, when you give it a little more movement in the painting. Okay, that's a cool color. Now, as I mentioned, I'm recording for my artist too, so I have to pause that for a second. Hold on. Okay. And I'm going to move on to my next color in just a second. Cheers to some coffee drinking this afternoon and painting. So, talk to me, you guys. What have you guys been doing to keep yourself busy during isolation and quarantine because I've been doing a lot of this, so, and a lot of coffee drinking. Okay, so I just put a little light coat on there. Now I'm going to rinse my brush and I am going to switch to, my light blue color that I have right here. I have to show that in the camera for my recording. Okay. And I'm going to water it down with some white, probably. Because it's really, really dark and pretty color, but it's going to be too, like, in your face if I don't dilute it a little bit. So I'm going to make it kind of like the lighter color up here, like the waterish color. Just like that. And then I'm going to blend it kind of just right in the middle here. And this is going to be my next color. And again, I'm just lightly dusting my color onto my shell. Oh, that's looking cool. There we go. Let my brush a little more. There we go. Now with a tinier brush, I could do like smaller streaks, you know, if I needed to. And I'm kind of liking the way this is kind of layering and blending. As I call blayering. That's what I call it. Oh, I missed one. Okay, and I can make it a little darker on the edges here. Like on this side and that side. Again, it kind of makes it look like it's a little more rounded that way. Okay. That's cool. Now if I wanted those two colors to blend a little bit more, I could rinse my brush and just use a wet brush or even maybe a dry brush, and you can kind of like very lightly blend them together a little bit. And they might like streak into each other some, but that's okay. It's not a big deal. Actually kind of looks cool like that. Okay. Okay, and I'm gonna put some of that blue color. Oh no, I'm totally winging this, by the way. I'm gonna put some of that blue color right down here, just because it'll just be like a little accent. There we go. Okay, and we'll shade it into the purple. And actually that's what I'm going to do next, is I am going to use the same brush and I'm going to use some purple and white on there to do like a light purple, like a lavender. So I'm going to make some my purple is really, really dark, I was saying earlier. This is purple. It looks black actually. It's actually a really pretty purple though. So it's going to be a good contrast. You can see the difference there. This is going to be our darker tone here. Not too much. And basically now I'm going to pull that up like this from the bottom here. Oh, yep, too much. I always do that. I always get too much the first time and then I have to like wash it off and then like use my brush to like drag it. So, and you guys wonder how I figure out how to like correct stuff. That would be why. Because I'm always correcting my own stuff. And that's just about learning. Okay. Having some fun. Okay, I'm kind of using the angle, the side of the brush now, because I want this to be a little thinner, coming out a little thick for me. But I'm practicing it, so it's cool. Sometimes if I get one that's too thick, I'll just use my finger and just kind of like smooth it down some a little bit. If you wanted these colors to layer and kind of stand apart from each other, you would let the layers dry in between. But I wanted them to kind of, as I call it, blaring. I like to layer slash blend a little bit at the same time. So it's just my personal preference. Okay. Oh, and I need to do the bottom. A little bit more purple. Okay. Down here. And I'm gonna make it the darkest right here where everything kind of comes together. And a little bit darker, like use straight purple almost. And that will really make it kind of like give that. Look at that crazy. You just do that one spot and then all of a sudden it looked round again, like way rounder. I like that. It's the cool thing about painting. Blend this into the blue a little bit. I probably need a smaller brush to do this, but that's okay. I'm just going with it. Good try. I have a little tiny detail brush here that I can use. Of course, I was also going to pretend like part of it was buried in the sand, so so if it comes out crooked, it's totally okay. I'm adding some white back to this purple a little bit so I can blend it. And there we go. So I know, like, if you're doing fine art and stuff, like our photorealism, you really have to be careful with your shading and all that kind of stuff. But honestly, I find that when I'm painting at my parties and stuff like that, you don't have to be like perfectly precise about the stuff, you know? You can just kind of, a lot of times you do just create little shadows by accident even. Just kind of like adding in darker colors versus your lighter colors and things like that. That just kind of happens naturally sometimes. And you don't have to have a ton of detail to be able to make it look good, you know, or start to like pop out. That's cool. Okay, so I'm gonna darken up the, I want to do like the little, you know, the little shell ridges that go in between here. And I'm gonna use the purple in my little detail brush to do that. So let's see, just a second. All right, just got this little guy right here. And you can use a little detail brush like this to do lines or like to fill in little areas. Sometimes I use a bright 4 to do that, you know, because this has like a really nice sharp edge. This is a little small for that though. So I'm just gonna go right around here. Oh, and my finger to smooth it because I got too much. All right, need more water. Water that paint down just a little bit. Just water it down so it blends a little bit easier. Just don't let it drip on you. There we go. I'm just using my fingers. I'm putting the paint on there and then blending with my finger. Sometimes your finger is the best um, tool that you got, you know. All right, I'm darken up some of these right here. Also. And then you may notice too is even though all this color is going on there, this might still look a little flat. And that's because I haven't really added any white highlights to it yet. And I tend to do that at the end once I kind of like something or I know that I'm good with it. And then I'll add the white highlights. So you can add them as you go sometimes, but it just depends. Notice I'm not outlining the entire thing. I'm just kind of doing some little highlights to shape. And again, using my finger to smooth it out. Alright, and I might want to darken this one side over here. I'm going to have my shadow over here. Later on I'll add like a little shadow in the sand and everything behind it. So, let's see. The rest of this is pretty dry, I think. It dries pretty fast. I'm using acrylics on there. So, what you could come back and do if you wanted to put in some more little highlights, you could put in, I could mix up some more of that magenta color, which was blue, red, and yellow, and no, sorry, blue, red, and white. A little darker version, or even just red or pink or hot pink or something like that. Any kind of like just shade difference would be kind of cool. And just put some little accents in here too. Give it some detail. I think that's pretty. You know, because the shells are going to be like all kinds of different colors, and they may have all kinds of different textures on them, and who knows, you know? Not all shells are white. One thing I try to do when I'm doing the highlights though is I try not to put stuff in the same exact spot. Like say each one I do here, I kind of do it a little differently, especially when you're doing nature type stuff, because you want it, I don't know, nature is very asymmetrical. There's not a lot in there that is, you know, like super straight. Like, or symmetrical is the word I'm looking for. I can't talk and paint at the same time right now, evidently. Sorry, guys. I'm trying. Okay. Let's see. You could really spend a lot of time on this if you wanted to. You could totally just like get really into the details and stuff like that. I don't have that much time, but. And of course, when I'm designing these for a paint party, then I'm, you know, designing it to fit within, you know, a couple of hours. Oops. Okay. Alright, and then the last thing I would probably do here is add on some white. Some white highlights. And notice I just did all of this, like, so I'm going to use some white here. With my little detail brush again. Kind of did all this while it was still wet so that I could, again, blend it if I wanted to. And I want the middle of the shell to pop out a little bit more, so I'm probably going to put white little sections in here maybe that might stand out a little bit more. And they don't have to be like, you know, perfect sections. They can just be little areas that make it kind of look like it's reflecting, like the sun's coming in or something, you know, a little bit. And again, I'm not trying to be perfect on my, like, source of light and all that kind of stuff. I am just having some fun with this. That white really makes it pop out though. It's really cool. Even though we started with white, and then like just putting it layered on top like this makes a big difference. It's going to be darker in here, so I'm not going to add too much white right in here. I am going to add a little bit. I'm adding more right on this side because my sun is over on this side here, and you know, well, I'm kind of like doing a top view really, like where I'm looking down on it, like straight down a little bit. So it could be kind of both, but if I had to pick one or the other, I'd be sun on the left and shadow on the right. So that usually works. Okay, so I don't love this part right here, but the cool thing is, I mean, it doesn't have to be super precise. And what I can do is later I can come back and put some more sand on the edges of it and cover it up, because that way you can just, you know, you can kind of, like anything you know, when you're doing composing a painting here or whatever, just, I seriously, all the time, if you get a little section that just drives you crazy or something, come back and cover it up with something else that would be, you know, related in the picture. It works all the time. I do it constantly. So I'm definitely going to do that on this one a little bit, because I don't love this bottom part of it. It's a little too round, but that's okay. And then I might soften up some of these edges too. Some of the outline I did was a little too dark. So again, see, I can just keep working on this and play with it. But I am going to add a little shadow around here later in a little bit. And adjust it as I go. All right. See, I'm just kind of playing. Softening that up a little. All right. All right, but it looks, you know, sort of 3D on there. It doesn't have to be like super like crazy 3D or anything on there, as long as you guys get the idea of what it is. Yay! Hi, Lori. What's up? Haven't seen you in a minute. What's going on, girl? So, all right. One second. Let's see if I have. I think I missed some comments. Sandy stopped in on her lunch break. Thanks, Sandy. Appreciate it. Okay. I like to what, Lakshmi, what is that? Are you still watching? I don't know what you mean by that. Tape color. I've never heard of that. Sounds cool though. Very cool. All right. So that's pretty much that's my little seashell here that I've done. And like I said, I'm gonna come around and like blend it in, but I'm gonna do that. I've got more stuff I have to do over here. I'm gonna do my starfish and my sand dollar and all, and I don't know where I'm gonna put them yet. So we'll see. Oh, I see you, Lakshmi. I saw you jump back in. Did you tell me what you're talking about taupey color? What is that? Explain yourself. Okay. All right, and I think what I'm gonna do too is, of course, this one once it's all done, it'll be available for paint parties and stuff like that. Um, what I'm gonna do is finish my sand dollar. I mean my starfish and my sand dollar, and then I'll probably come back over and put like a fun silvery white kind of overlay on top of these too to make it look like they're or over the ones up here that are in the water. So that'll be exciting too. Yay! Okay, Lakshmi says, oh, she was talking about my taupe color on the plate. Okay. Yeah, that was the color of the sand. Yeah, well, which you can't even see now because I've covered over it already. But yeah, that was when I did the background. I started with the sand, went to the water, and then I went over here while that's kind of the way I work. I'll do one section and then let this dry while you work on this section, and then I'll work on that section. Um, and then now after that, I would probably blow, like if at a party, I would make people blow dry the background because then it just kind of saves time and the heat from the blow dryer sets the paint a little bit so that when you go to do stuff like this on there, basically you're not blending into this. It's fine to blend on all these colors, but you don't want to blend into the sand just yet, like unless you're creating a shadow, so yeah, that was from earlier to answer your question on that. Thanks. So okay, all right, well, I think that's it for today. I'm gonna go figure out how to do my starfish and my sand dollar and finish this painting up. And I will catch you guys again soon, I'm sure. I'm gonna try, like I said at the beginning, I said it at the beginning of the year. I was like, I need to go live more, la la la, and then everything happened with quarantine and everything. And so of course everybody's world got turned upside down, literally for some more than others, of course. So yeah, I did not fulfill my promise of going live more often. I'm trying to get back into it. As you guys know, we're doing the virtual paint parties now too. Whoop, whoop. Hey. Okay. If you haven't tried those, give them a try. They're fun. You'll love it. It's just like this basically, except it's on Zoom, and you can actually, I can actually see you on them because it's Zoom, and you can see me, and you can ask me questions, and it's really awesome. So give those a try. But anyways, I will be back on sometime. I am trying to jump on at least once a week or so. So stay tuned for more. I hope you guys enjoyed this quick little example painting. Okay, bye. Thanks for watching.